everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Marvin's podcast, a podcast where we speak to scintillating and tantalizing people. People who help people like you and me make what we love a full-time job. If you like the podcast, please give us a review on iTunes and share it with your friends, or also give us a review on Amazon. If you didn't, just be quiet about it. In this particular episode, we are in for an amazing and scrumptious guest. Her name is Tina, and do I say Gen? Tina Gen. That's right. Got it right. Tina Gen, and she is a creator of Your Backup Plan. A backup plan that helps you, if you're having a chaotic life, helps sort it all out and have a more organized and balanced lifestyle. Hello, Tina.
Hello, hello.
How are we doing today, Tina? Glad to have you on.
Well, thanks, Marvin. It's been a huge invite for me to be able to speak to you guys. And I hope that some listeners can get something out of today's podcast.
Yes, I'm sure they will. I mean, like just speaking to you earlier, I'm sure you've got a story to tell us, and I feel like a cinema goer watching a big film here. I'm intrigued to find out about yourself and your story.
Well, my story started with I think I'll start with just what's happened in the summertime during COVID. I created Your Backup Plan a few years ago, but I felt that people weren't really understanding, and they felt that they were prepared and that they had nothing to worry about. But now during COVID, a lot has happened to me over the last 2 years. I was in a major car accident. I had a concussion, a brain injury. I went into recovery, and I was actually working as a licensed insurance broker who went back to work after the car accident, and the company fired me. So then I had to sue them for that, because you can't really, fire someone after. And so I went through that. And in the meantime of all this, I decided to tell my husband I wanted to leave after 30 years of marriage. So was my world upside down? You betcha. And I wrote a story in a book called Woman of Worth. And the story in it is called In the Blink of an Eye. So I'm sure everyone can figure out what that means after what I've just said. You're just driving down the road one day, and all of a sudden, I literally, you don't see it coming, and you get hit head on. And at first, when you come to, you think, oh God, am I still in one piece? Like, is my head still on my shoulders? And, is my face still a face? That's the first thing you kind of think of. But then once you come out of that, then of course you're sore and everything hurts. But your life goes on. And in recovery, I really found myself and found my calling to help other people get better prepared for whatever circumstance hits them, because we all have something that's going to hit us at some point in our life. We're going to have the cancer word come to our world. We're going to have a car accident. We're going to have our purse stolen. We're going to have a divorce. We're going to have all sorts of things come our way. And I came to realize that people did not understand why they had to be prepared. They kind of just left it, and then I'll worry about it later, or I'll worry about it after. And they think of wills and power of attorneys and living wills the same way. And so I thought, okay, it's not just me. It's not just my idea. It's not just what I've developed that people don't get. It's our circumstance. It's our world that we live in. And I think during COVID, it's all over the world. It slowed us down to a point where we've had to realize what is important in our life. It's changed us. Is what I'm doing in life supposed to be? Am I going the right way? Should I change it? Because during COVID, a lot of stores got um, closed. A lot of businesses got closed. A lot of jobs got changed. Um, a lot of family dynamics changed. People had kids at home. So yeah, I just went on my journey of helping people understand by having a podcast of my own and having people invite people with their real life stories every single week. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the conversations and the true life stories, and how someone can pick themselves up after a car accident, or how someone can be a cancer survivor with one leg. How inspiring other people can be to all of us. It's really important, and it's really inspiring to us as well.
Hmm. I think especially during these tough times now, because it's so like what a lot of people, some people are talking about having trouble about this and that. You told me about that just before we had a chat about this remarkable woman who was able to turn her life around.
Yeah, the one that we have coming up in December is a lady who's had her dad hang himself, and then 2 years later, her son, who's 19, hung himself, committed suicide. So, yeah, is there a mental illness issue, especially during COVID? Absolutely. We can't hide from that. It's just emphasized it even more, because we're more alone. We're possibly isolated. We have restrictions. It's not fun for anybody. So it's just added more complications to their lives. And so if I can do anything, is help people understand that there's other people maybe in the same situation, or other people that would like to hear another inspiring story to maybe help them build them up out of where they are right now. They might be, feeling down, or feeling, when is this ever going to end? That one's a good one. We'd all like to know the answer for that.
As soon as the vaccine starts, hopefully that's the answer.
Hopefully.
But there's so much division, and there's gonna lot of people that aren't gonna get it as well, aren't gonna get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be, I don't know, I think it's, who cares? Just get the vaccine. Let's get back to normal. Let's live the way we used to live.
Yeah. We don't realize how good we have it. And I say that in my podcast usually, is you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And that
That's a
goes
good
for
song.
that goes for anything, relationships, or a career, or a body part. Like, when you don't have your right hand anymore, if you're left-handed, a left hand, and you realize how important that hand was.
Like Jamie Lannister.
Yeah. So I just want to try and make things happy, because we need happiness. And so I went the route of inspirational, motivational stories to help people realize that, you don't have to get a will and a living will and a power of attorney and think that it's bad luck, because it's not. It's not bad luck to plan. And we plan everything in our lives. We plan trips, we plan birthdays, we plan weddings, and we travel, and we don't somehow plan for the unexpected, because we should always expect the unexpected.
Ah. And what would you say has been sort of moments from your childhood that have also contributed to you pursuing this sort of goal in life?
I think the universe kind of had me trained for this. It seems like, when you look back, um, I like interviewing people. I like I could have been a journalist or announcer or something. I feel like um, I enjoy it. I can be on the screen. I can be talking to 100 people. I'm very passionate about what I speak about. Um, and I just want everyone to, um, have it simpler than more complicated. Make it easier when something happens. And so I think my journey along the way has brought me, I have MCSE, which is Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer. I went into insurance and financial. So of course, all of these things added to my knowledge of what people should do, how should how should we plan it easier? How should we put your stuff all in one place? How can we find it at at your fingertips when you need it? But also be secure at the same time. So safety comes first, obviously, and security, because no one has anything secure right now. If I was to say to you, Marvin, where's your stuff if something happened to you? And you probably don't have it all in one place, and you can pick it up at your fingertips. But if something did happen to you, what do you want to have happen with your podcast? Do you want someone else to continue it? Do you want, do you want it just to stop? All of these kind of little questions that come up in our program, that some people write blogs and they want, another relative to continue them, or a website, or, something like that.
Um, I enjoyed doing the podcast. It's a lot of fun. But at the moment, like my clear purpose in the podcast is that I want to make what I enjoy doing, which is comedy, my main job. And so I want to speak to people who have done that, and so that people can go on a journey and enjoy it. I mean, if I were to go, I mean, at the moment, it wouldn't mean that much because it's not really giving anything yet. I'll say yet. But if it is starting to, when it sorry, I should say, when it does get an audience and there's more people in and is getting value, I will probably would want someone who has the same sort of mindset as me to take it over, because then they're going to still deliver the same value.
Right. But that made you think for a second.
It did. That's a very good question. Often when I'm in a podcast, I often get spoiled stuff by others. Like I'll ask a question that sort of puts people off, but you've asked a question that sort of made me think.
Because it's the same as any business. If you're self-employed, or you have a small business, or you do something as a hobby, what do you want to have that look like? If you were incapable, maybe you were still alive, but you're incapable of doing it, or you're incapable of doing it for a period of time, maybe 6 months or something. People do get sick, or things happen. But yeah, it just starts to make you think. So I think over time, I think this has all evolved into hearing client stories and thinking, oh gosh, that didn't have to happen like that. Let's make this process easier for people. And that was my goal.
Yeah. How do you make it easy if we were just pointing people in examples, people who have been through tremendous suffering, and saying, listen, it's easy to sort out. You not easy, but you can do it. And your method of inspiring people is perhaps a tad bit different to a lot of motivational speakers who just use a lot of words.
Yes. Mine is, I think people can feel like it comes from my heart. It's a passion I have to make things better and right. And, you know, when something happens to a family member or yourself, it's usually it sets you back, and fear gets in the way, and emotions get in the way, and um, there's no time for finding anything. There's no time for um, you know, finding out what the person's medical information was, or finding their paperwork, which is usually all over the house. You know, it could be found in drawers. You know, even if you asked your parents where are their stuff, they probably wouldn't even be able to pick it up at their fingertips either. They'd have to look
No.
for it. So that's always a sign right there that we need to get our crap together. And how do we do that? How do we do it securely and safely? And how do we do it so that we have it at our fingertips, but someone else that we love or trust also can access it and know where it is? Because when you have a will, it's all wonderful, but if no one knows where it is, it's stupid. Like it's useless. If you have life insurance and no one knows you have it, it's useless, because that's the number one way of insurance companies making piles of money, is not putting a claim through your life insurance.
And my God, I mean, that is, have you always had, did you always have this sort of mindset of thinking like that? But it was just that one big event that pushed you to it, and it just completely changed you as a person. And like, everyone else needs to share this.
I think I created it a few years ago, but it wasn't the right time. And it wasn't the right time for me because I had to get through, obviously I must have known something was going to, all these events were going to happen to me. And it really made me wake up. And during COVID, it made me realize that it's time. It's time for people to realize that COVID can hit them. Anything can hit them. It doesn't matter what it is. It can not be, you know, life changing, but it could be, you could also find out you have cancer, but it doesn't have to be life changing. You could get COVID, but it doesn't have to be life changing. Whereas in some cases it is. For some people, they don't come out of ICU for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I just want to have fun and help people get better organized, and creating a work platform where it's called the Emerging Blueprint for your backup plan. And it will be a program, a membership program where I think I showed you a few of my notes over there beforehand. But I've created 9 sessions of videos and step-by-step guides of how to get started and make it really simple right from step 1. And you can watch as many videos as you want. You can watch them by the beach. You can watch them by the fireplace. But they're fun. They're fun interviews as well. I'll be interviewing lawyers and notaries, interviewing insurance people, making you better understand what it is that you have, perhaps a policy that you have that you don't understand. A lot of people buy things and don't really realize what they have. Maybe it ends in 5 years and you thought it was going to end in 25 years. That's a big difference. But yeah, the membership program, I think, is where it's really at, because the app is really cheap and you can definitely do it on your own. But if you want more information and you want help and you want to really use it to the best of your ability, you can become a member of the program And then eventually what I'm going to have is there'll be countries, there'll be UK, there'll be United States, there'll be Canada, there'll be Sweden, there'll be Germany, France, there'll be all Australia, there'll be all sorts of countries that you can click on. And because my system is international, but the wording isn't. So what I'm going to do is for each section, I'll have that better understanding for people so that you can click on the UK part and understand in your area, what does that mean? So there'll be videos of each section as well. And there's worksheets included, you know, how to have a family conversation, how to have a family meeting with your parents or friends or family members of, and that you could just tick off the tick boxes and write down notes, and it's all done for you. So it's like a template that you just use. And yeah, I'm trying to make it really as simple as I can for everybody.
Yeah, that's good. And how during COVID, you must have a lot of situations where their lives have changed completely, and you must have. I mean, you get a lot of practice to put the plan into action and like see its rewards.
Yes, that's for sure. I'm doing a podcast in December with a lady who went in for a day surgery at the beginning of COVID in March. And she went in for a hysterectomy and almost died. So it kind of tells you right there, you know, wow, this did make a change for everybody, even at the beginning.
And that's why you're so passionate about it, because you get that feeling at the end where you've changed someone's life, and like you experienced that joy of it, joy, and you get to share it. A bit
Yes.
similar to Jigsaw, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you seen the film Jigsaw?
Yeah, that's true.
But you do it in a nice way and like in enthralling way that energizes people. He does it in a way where they get scared.
Well, I don't want to scare anybody. But sometimes you have to, you know. Usually people get it when they've had something happen in their life, whether it's a family friend or something at work or something, and then all of a sudden they've clued in to, hey, I'm not organized either. I better get my crap together. So that's usually what changes.
This is a really amazing thing that you do. I mean, I think I think long term is gonna. I mean, it has already changed a lot of lives, but oh my God, like all power to you. I hope like you get spoken of the same Tony Robbins sort of level, because what you're doing is similar to what he's done to change so many people's lives. But you're changing people from the absolute brink. Tony Robbins is maybe not as that much to it.
Yes. And I always say, you know, like there's 10 sections to the app of being prepared. But if you do one or two of them, you're so much further ahead than anybody else.
You
So
know, that's amazing what you do, because I spoke to someone on the podcast who is a tantra teacher, and he says that real change depends on your chakras, and it would be interesting to see you and him have a chat to see
that
discuss
would be
ideas.
so
Like,
cool. That would
I,
be awesome.
I'll drop you the link to the episode, and I'll maybe give you a link to his website, and then you could like chat to him and like, yeah.
Sure, that'd be awesome. You know, because I was really lost after going into a divorce and having my recovery and all of that stuff and getting my strength back and really realizing that, you know, what I have to do is important. And I woke up one morning and I remember walking down the hallway, and all of a sudden it was like someone was talking to me, and they said, you're going to do a podcast every week and you're going to do a live broadcast every week and you're going to get this going. And I said, oh, okay. How do I do that? You know, here I swear I was talking out loud to myself. But obviously it was the universe telling me that it was time, and I have the strength now, and I can go do this and help people. So that's what changed this year.
It's amazing. And do you do like an advice-based podcast, like you chat around and then you see what people say and then you answer their queries?
No, I haven't done that, but we are going to have some webinars in the new year where people can come on to the Zoom webinar and then ask whatever they want to ask and join in to, the topic.
Oh, that's incredible. To be honest, I am speechless in a good way in what you're doing.
Oh, good.
I don't know what to say. That whoa, and it's fantastic. I like it.
Good. I did get you quiet, didn't I?
Yes. No, I mean, what have been your struggles in getting this going? Because obviously it was
support. I think I've had to do it mostly on my own, and I have a few people that are really close to me that I kind of depend on or throw something at. Sometimes you just have to throw things on the wall and see what sticks. Because you are alone, you're not in a team or a department at a company where you have a whole lot of people injecting their opinions. So when you're by yourself, you have to kind of throw it up there and see what flies. And I think support is probably the most important, and I didn't have that before. So I feel like I'm just flying now because I have 2 or 3 people in my life that support me, support my ideas, and give good feedback and inspiration as well. And I think everybody needs that. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You need support. It could be, an injury that you're going through, you need support. If you're building a business, you need support. I think that's key.
And with all this sort of going on, I mean, how hard was it? Like how many hours did you have to work? What did you have to sacrifice to get there?
I sacrificed my income for a year because I totally just worked on the app. Constructing something from scratch and building it and testing it, and always, and now it's always getting updated. It's actually in the hospital as we speak, getting another test done and another update. I always say it gets COVID every now and then, only because we make changes and always updating it and always making it better. And, for even just the little things, because, if you put your car insurance in there, it will say, when is your car insurance up? And so you'll get notified a month before in your app on your phone or on your tablet saying your car insurance is up. Do you want to get a quote? Or your house insurance is up. How many times, I'm sure everybody has driven their car and forgotten that they needed to get their car insurance renewed. And it's a scary feeling because I know I've done it, and I look at it and like, oh God, I don't want to drive anywhere right now. It's just the fact because you realize that you don't have it, so you get scared.
And what has been who's a hero of yours during your journey in this?
Ellen, the TV show Ellen.
You see, I feel she's getting a lot of harsh criticism in terms of like being fake and like all these other things going on. The thing is, you don't know how much pressure she's under at that sort of level, the stuff she goes through.
Absolutely.
And like saying that she's fake or this and that. She even says herself, though, she's an introvert. So she needs certain things to work a certain way. And also people are probably jealous of her. You don't know the full story, but because she's famous and she has power, as soon as they hear something, people want to rip her throat because they want what she has.
Well, how many times has she gone down and been, I call bullied? How many times has she been pushed down and gotten back up? And it's,
Oh,
you know, every time you have success, every time that you build up yourself or a business or whatever it is, there's always those people around that don't want the best for you.
yeah.
And that's what I always feel like happens in a lot of cases. And I think she's inspiring, and how she's been pushed down so many times and brought back up again. It's
Okay.
really incredible.
She's a hero to a lot of people, but she will get through it. And yeah, I when someone, I don't like to get involved in any side of anything in these types of things. I just want to leave it alone.
Yeah,
All I'm going to say is that people should look at more from her side and try and understand what's going on.
absolutely. And we should be living our lives like that, especially during this time.
But I think the most important thing is, I've got my own life to sort out, so I'm not too worried about hers. And that should be
Right.
the message for a lot of people.
Exactly. Exactly. Look at your own home. Don't look outside of your home. That's for sure.
And also, Ellen, if you have a spare £10,000, please give it to me.
Yeah, because we're speaking nicely about you.
She probably finds it very annoying when people are like that, because she can see it and like, boom.
Well, I don't think Ellen gets enough credit, so that's all I'm going to say. Because no one else has walked in her shoes. So until you do, then you can say something.
That's true. All I want to say now is that, yeah, you've been inspiring. I love your story and everything. I want best of luck with everything. And I
Thank
just
you.
want to ask you, like, what advice would you give to your younger self before all of this? And like, what is a quote you want to live the rest of your life by?
I have a quote, actually. My quote is, whatever course you decide upon, there is always someone to tell you that you are wrong. There are always difficulties arising which tempt you to believe that your critics are right. To map out a course of action and follow it to an end requires courage, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I really like that quote because it tells you that whatever's in your heart will guide you the right way. Don't think too much with your head, because your heart will always take you to success. Whether it's success in money, whether it's success in happiness, that will guide you the right way. So that was my quote. What was the other question?
What advice would you give to your younger self?
To be patient. I hate patience. I'm so bad at it, but I find the older you get, the more patience you need in life, because not everything just happens quickly, like what you may want it to, or as fast as you. We are in a world, especially during COVID, that we realize that we've had to take a step back and be patient, and none of us like it. But that's okay, because it's all teaching us something. It's teaching us how to be patient. And when you're building something and you have the patience and you have the passion, you'll get there. What's that old saying that we grew up with, like a turtle? The slow and steady will win the race.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we had?
But it'll be harder and you go through a
Yeah.
lot of pain.
Yes. Yeah, we do go through pain, and we go through struggles and obstacles, but it's all good. It's you just have to realize that there's something better, there's something promising, there's something better coming.
Okay.
I hope I made some sense.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything you would like to plug? Like, just let us know about your work. Let people know how they can get in contact with you and help
Sure.
change their lives.
Absolutely. At your description in your podcast, I can send you a link to make it easier for people. But my website is your www.yourbackupplan.ca. I am on Instagram, Your Backup Plan. I'm on Facebook, Your Backup Plan. And we have our blueprint program that I discussed with everyone called the Emerging Blueprint, and that will be available very soon. And yeah, I'll on YouTube as well, Your Backup Plan on YouTube. So every week we upload live videos and podcast videos as well. So you can find me everywhere. Everywhere there's social media, that's where I am.
Yeah, she's everywhere, even in
I'm
the
everywhere.
basement.
Even in the basement. Yeah.
Like, if you're having food, she'll be there.
Yeah.
In spirit.
That's right. Well, this
Um,
was awesome. Thank you so much, Marvin, for having me and listening to my strange but hopefully inspiring stories.
Absolutely inspiring. Like audience back home, I hope you've been inspired. I hope you've enjoyed it. And also please give a 5-star review on iTunes and Amazon. And also go and check out Tina's podcast, which is
Your Backup Plan on 8 platforms.
yes. And guys, follow her, give the review, and I'll see you soon. And Tina, best luck. Take care of everything, and hopefully I get to speak to you soon. And take care.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Marvin. Thanks everybody for listening. Love
Take care.
to share it.
It's all about, we need it in this time. We need to share the love.
That's for sure. That's for sure. There's not enough.
Love, love, love. Take care.
Well, thank you. Thanks again, Marvin.
Olive, I'll say, as you're in Canada, I'll say bonne journée. Bonne journée.
Oh, well, maybe if you're in Quebec or something, but hey, we're just back in the Pacific Northwest. We would probably say something like cheers.
No, fantastic. See you later.
Yeah.